Hi guys, thank you for talking to me. I appreciate it. I watched them all, well, all five yesterday. I really, really liked it. So for some reason,
Wow.
I haven't minded watching them back to back to back with screeners. I really, really liked it. So
I love hearing that. That's great. And you made it through. Like you're not
yeah,
scared or no
yeah, I
nightmares,
want to see
nothing.
the other five though. Have to wait for them to send it. So can you guys first talk about how you got involved in the show, and did you know about the comics to begin with?
Ariana.
Okay. I got involved the way other starving actors do. We go on a lot of auditions, and then we have callbacks, and then we have to test. So it's a very long process. I was not asked to do this role. I was not given a script. I didn't even see the script, I think, until we landed in Vancouver. Yeah, so like it was we had an incredible casting director, and you know, I had worked with Paul on Ghost Rider. I had auditioned for that one actually, and I think that's why I was being considered for this role. But yeah, there's no there. I was not in on anything. It wasn't until I booked it that I was like, wow, this script is amazing. And then what was the other question?
Oh, I just wondered if you guys knew about the comics before you started working on the show.
Yeah, honestly, no. Like growing up, I'm a Latina. Like there were no Latino superheroes. It was all white guys. Like I just wasn't that into Marvel growing up. And I honestly, it wasn't until, I mean, Black Panther that I was like, this is not only a cult, but like it's life changing. It can be revolutionary for a lot of people. So now being able to like work on it even for like a TV show, and with the diverse cast that we have, I mean, it's such an honor to be able and a privilege to work with them.
The casting process for me was pretty straightforward. Like Ariana said, it was an audition process. I actually wasn't even going to submit myself because I was wrapped up doing an indie film in Seattle, and I missed the deadline by I think a day or two, and I was like, okay, that's not happening. But thankfully my manager was like, I think this is great for you. You got to do it. You got to do it. And I remember wrapping a 16-hour day, and well, it wasn't that crazy. It was like a 12-hour day, but I was tired, and I just put it on tape and just put it to bed and went to bed. And then the next day they wanted to see me. So the process was rather quick for me. I self-taped, and then within a week I got the test, and then a week after that they said welcome to Marvel, and that's the story. As far as comic books goes, I grew up, my brother indoctrinated me into the comic book fandom, and he was a huge like X Factor, X-Men, Punisher, Daredevil, everything that you could think of he was into. And so that he was a good resource to have for this show was, hey, do you know who Helstrom is? Like, tell me everything about this person. So yeah, that was my foray into the casting process of the show.
Okay, great. Are we going to see any other Marvel characters maybe throughout at least the rest of the season anyway? Or can you not even tell me that? I mean, like, characters people know, obviously, that they recognize.
Lydia?
Yeah, I do. What do we say here?
You guys are good. You guys are good.
Okay, good. I think for me, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think as a fan, I think we all want to see the integration of Helstrom and the adjacent world that he exists in as the comic book fans. I think we all want to see that. So whether or not that comes to fruition really depends on the fans. I mean, it becomes one of those things where, we want people to watch this, and we want to be wanted to be watched. So that we could explore whatever other avenues that the Helstroms would encounter. So the hope is there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We don't know. We don't know. For sure.
I think season 1 is really just like establishing the world, the characters that you know, and then the backstory of characters that you're just meeting for the first time. So I think it's TBD. We'll find out.
All right. And then I have a question for each of you separate. First of all, Elaine, for you, obviously he knows what Anna's up to since he's kind of helping her out. But does he know her past, who her father is, that kind of thing, or is he kind of going to find it out more?
I think Chris understands that there is a darker past that Anna has not told him. Obviously he's growing up with Anna, has witnessed a lot of the supernatural abilities that she has, and we've created this, in some ways, a checklist, if you will, of things that we would like to accomplish with her powers, so to speak. But as far as her past and what transpired before I met her in the foster care system, she has not privied me to that information. Although I have inclinations as to what that might be. I am aware who Damien is. I'm aware of certain aspects that she has allowed me to be a part of. At the end of the day, Anna is a very close person, and we do have a really close relationship. But that in some ways tells you how much she has suppressed a lot of the stuff that she experienced. As we dive into the series, you get to kind of unpack a lot of that stuff.
Well, I'm sure some of it obviously comes to affect him later.
Absolutely. Innocent bystander, maybe.
Yeah. So, Ariana, obviously, and without spoiling it, there's certain things that Gabrielle doesn't agree with, maybe the way people who are possessed are handled. But she finds out later on that maybe Damon's way isn't so great for the victims either. So can you kind of talk about, is she going to have to, work to find a way to accept it, or is she going to kind of keep pushing to find her own way maybe in the end?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that really is a struggle that Gabriella is constantly faced with, is, her ideology and what she believes in. And then there's different approaches to the same goal. Everyone wants to try to eliminate as much evil in the world as they can. And they do it in different ways, sacrificing different things. And I think for that reason, just having that exposure to just different people and approaches, I would say definitely makes her just kind of have to reconsider what she was taught and kind of grow and have this like maturation of her own like personal beliefs.
Okay. And if I can get it in really quick, can you talk a bit about working with Sydney, the two of you?
Oh my God. You go.
It's so much fun. I didn't get to play with her as much, but like every time that I did, it was like, like Gabriella and Anna are like very different. So like, it's always this very like fun, like playful back and forth, just like constant banter, which I thought was, really great brevity for like a very dark show.
I think Sydney was the first person I met in Vancouver. We hadn't met everybody. I think we all met each other at the same time, but she was the first person I met. Then I met Beth, but we had an immediate rapport. She comes from a really strong pedigree of the craft, and so I had a ton of questions for her, and I always have admired people who come from theater, who come from that sort of school of thought and school of developing characters and everything else. So it was great. It was really interesting to work with her because how she approached certain things. And when you go on set, it's always, at least for me, I always want to glean as much as I can from the other actors. So if I'm working with someone like Beth, who I didn't really get a chance to work with so much, but I would always pull her to the side and be like, hey, how did you do that? How did you accomplish that? And with Sid, it was like this really effortless way in which she approached her character that I really enjoyed. And she was gracious enough for me for me to be part of that world that when she was creating the character in the beginning. So it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, both of you. It's good talking to you.
Thank you.
Likewise. Thank you.
Bye-bye.